So one of the things that struck me about this reading from Isaiah, the very first line, is he says, this is the word that Isaiah saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Wouldn't you think it would say here, this is the word of the Lord that Isaiah heard? But he doesn't. It says that he saw. And then it gives us the vision that Isaiah had of a mountain. Now the mountain that they were near was not that high. But in this vision that Isaiah had, the mountain was higher than any others, and people from all nations were streaming up that mountain. So many people going up that mountain. Why? Because it had the wisdom that they needed. The wisdom to live as God would have them live. And they wanted to learn. In Isaiah's vision, people wanted to learn this way, and they streamed up the mountain looking for that wisdom. And when they got that wisdom, they brought the law out from Zion, back to their other nations, back to every place they came from. They brought the wisdom of the Lord in Isaiah's vision. And that made them not have any more disputes. They learned how to live in peace, and so they could beat their swords into plowshares. They could turn their spears into pruning hooks. They could take the weapons of war and turn them into tools for production and abundance and sharing. This is the vision that Isaiah had. And our times need visions, just like Isaiah's time needed vision. We have words, and words are a blessing because they are very efficient. They're a very compact way of communicating ideas. But they are probably the least effective thing to convey real stuff. It's hopefully the words will trigger your imaginations and your inspirations and your thoughts. So I'm inviting you in this service to try to tap into that right brain and imagine, what does hope look like for you? The reading from Paul, he talks about, again, living in difficult times. You might want to huddle under the blankets. You might not want to get out of bed. So, let me just wait till it's all over. But Paul says, no, you have to be awake and alert. Live as people in the day. Don't hide from hard times. Be out there living in them, but alert to the signs of the coming kingdom. Alert for the good news. Looking for signs that Christ has come and is returning. And do the works of light. Do what it takes. Our visions don't only come to us in dreams. Have people had dream visions before? Things that come to you when you're sleeping, that maybe guided you in some way, or brought you comfort, or gave you a vision. Has anyone ever had a waking vision? Now I have. I had this dilemma. I don't even remember anymore what it was, but I was really wrestling with something, and I prayed a lot about it. And all of a sudden, in my mind, I had this image of me it was snowing. It was very snowy, and I was in a driveway, and I was trying to back out of the driveway. And there was a mailbox, and I was trying to align myself with the mailbox, but I went on the wrong side of it. So I was on the bumpy grass, and I just saw this vision. And the meaning I made out of it is, in my dilemma, there is a landmark there guiding me, but I'm on the wrong side of it. I have to realign myself to the guidance that's there. And it was just, and again, it wasn't like a hallucination that I saw, but I just had this thought, this vision of myself trying to back out of this tricky situation and doing it wrong, although part of it was right. So I've had those types of waking visions. And I think this is what the prophet Isaiah calls us to be open to. What does it look like when we have an abundance of things? Can you imagine building a long table instead of a big wall? Do you try to protect, how can you see the coming of the kingdom where people share, where people are not afraid? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And An artist went to the wall that's being set up at the border of Mexico and installed a seesaw. It was only there for an hour. But what does that say? What's being communicated with that idea? A thing of play. Instead of dividing us, this wall can be a way of interacting. Are there other arts that have led you to a deeper understanding of something? Music, visual painting, an experience. I've seen plays and people gone to theater and had things shift in a whole new way of how you understood something. Right? What does hope look like in our world? After you throw off those covers and you go out and you live life, what does that look like? We have symbols. We have a lot of symbols for our worship series, Joy to the World, joy, heaven, singing, animals, again, are replications, different than the real thing, I know. And I also had this idea of what's the symbolism, what's being communicated if we all ate from the same loaf at communion. Every week we offer a piece that people can peel off, but we also offer something from a separate loaf that's cut up into, beautiful bite-sized pieces. And it's so easy to just reach and grab that pre-cut piece that someone else has already determined what size you're going to eat, and just grab it. But today during communion, I'm going to ask you to wrestle with the loaf. The deacon will be able to help you. We'll have a glove and be able to tear off a piece for you if you have trouble with that. But I'm going to ask you to be intentional, to experience something that we are all eating from the same loaf. I can communicate what that means to me, but I want you to have an experience for yourself. How big of a piece do you break off? Do you want to just eat so much of Christ's body? Or are you careful at making sure everyone gets, or you want a soft part from the middle? It's no judgment, just observation. How do you experience this? In terms of hopefulness, in terms of one body, a shared loaf. I'm going to keep my sermon short today, so may it be so. May we find meaning in our symbols. May we open ourselves to the song of the universe. May we find ways beyond words or reading to take in and also express the hope that is coming to us in Christ.